Here you now have everybody realizing that it's possible to talk about this and that they're not going to be booed out of the room.
As NASA itself has recently acknowledged, this is a valid and important scientific issue, but national security can't be ignored in this topic. We are not dealing, at least not exclusively, with an intangible interdimensional presence that has for centuries been seeking to subtly influence human affairs. Something along these lines could be happening. It's a fascinating issue. But our military is encountering intelligently controlled, solid objects invading restricted military airspace, sometimes flying in formation. In many cases, they're emitting radiation in the 1 to 3 and 8 to 12 gigahertz range. Multiple credible reports indicate these objects have rendered segments of our nuclear deterrent inoperable. In other recent cases, they're jamming radars on fighter aircraft. We also have multiple cases of near mid-air collisions and other cases involving serious injuries to military and civilian personnel. Indeed, this is an area of research for Dr. Nolan and the Sol Foundation.
These exhibit extreme accelerations. They've been tracked at hypersonic speeds in air many times. They do not make, I'm running off the bottom of the screen, they don't make sonic booms or fireballs, which you would expect, so something very strange is going on. And one thing that's almost never mentioned is there's no energy deposition when they stop. This thing drops from 28,000 feet to sea level, getting up to about 42,000 miles an hour in the middle, and then stops. Where did all that energy go? Well, first you worry about where it came from, but where did it go? Energy doesn't just disappear. When this thing comes to a stop, there ought to have been an explosion. And given the amount of power that it took, you can estimate how big that would have been. It should have been an explosion with about the same amount of energy as 250 Tomahawk cruise missiles simultaneously blowing. That's what should have happened. It didn't. What's going on? We don't know. But I treat these all as clues. These are clues to be used to figure out how these things work.
The Sol Foundation is an institute of research that funds and guides research in sciences, the social sciences, the humanities, and that also produces policy and advisory research that is aimed to illumine and help us clear up what's going on with the UAP issue and also prepare us to deal with the social implications of it.
I come from a tradition in science of taking from multiple different fields of science and thought simultaneously and synthesizing them into something new. You create and you invent. I'm a tinkerer by nature, and so here we are tinkering with the reality of what this might actually mean.
We also are putting together what we call a whole of society approach that engages all institutions and kinds of people so that we can deal with what may promise to be a very world-changing issue in a way that involves everyone.
Welcome to California. Welcome to Stanford. The objective here is to legitimize and professionalize and then to seek from you your ideas.
We know from our private life that finding a partner provides a meaning to our existence. The same holds for finding a partner in outer space. Suddenly, the universe will not appear to be lonely.
A lot of individuals who previously thought that they were alone in their thought or their belief system suddenly finding that they had many other individuals with whom they could speak. And so now the networks are forming, and we hope that this will catalyze an opportunity for others to basically step forward instead of us or along with us.
Not sure I'm aware of any sort of think tank organizations in recent years at the level of Sol. I mean, in terms of the people that they have attracted to the organization, not just the founders, but people associated with it, the people here at this conference. I've been going to conferences for 22 years, and I've never been to one at the level of this one. So I think it's really unique.
Everyone here in the audience has kind of praised it as the best event they've seen on this. And they've told us that everyone who needs to be here is here speaking, and that the audience is composed of just as many important people.
This is why we have the Sol Foundation. We need to basically create a parallel track of research and, independent discovery that aren't necessarily dependent on the U.S. government to provide us all the answers.
Before the space program, people felt that we couldn't even go into space, that human beings were tied to the Earth. Now we have over 500 people have actually flown in orbit, okay?
Dealing with ufological materials is what Christian theology would call demonology, or in other more positive or transformative modes, angelology. Basically, entities that are not human beings, have different types of bodies, and are not God. Such entities have been given multiple interpretations in different religions. And I really want to stress that. I'm not signing my name to the Christian interpretation. But the demonic beings in particular are generally seen as fairly low within the total ecology of the religions, even below the living human. This is as true in Hindu South Asia as it is in Christian Europe. This does not mean that this is what such entities in fact are.